Been a while since you've seen the old purple room, huh? What's up, gamers? Virgo here, covering for Carmen Ryder. Why am I here this time, you may ask? Well, Carmen figured you guys seeing my face would loosen the tension of the recent run-ins with you-know-who and you-know-who. Then again, me unbuttoning my shirt to show off my you-know-what probably isn't helping matters. Or maybe it is, assuming excitement can get rid of worry. Who knows? These are very emotional times, apparently. Anyways, I wish to let you know that according to ClubDev, Friday Night Fappin' has completed its development. But fear not, fellow Coomers. ClubDev has focused his talents into another project. Unfortunately, we cannot show said project because it's pornographic and therefore I cannot give the sauce. But it has to do with AI, and ClubDev seems pretty content with it. He even managed to buy ad space for it. However, in honor of ClubDev and the legacy of Friday Night Fappin', we shall return to once again cover Nattie Forsyth. Now, at one point, Nattie went scorched earth and privated all of her videos. Initially, we were going to cover this sooner, but once she went full needle mouse with her content, obviously we thought she was going to be gone for good. Until out of nowhere, she came back and unprivated all her content. Except her video on ClubDev. Perhaps there's a reason for that video still being missing? Wait till the end to find out. But why private your videos in the first place? Well, let's just say that Nattie has accusations against her of being a piss bread. If you don't know what that means, it's the PG word for piss, plus the thing bread is made out of. Yep, some pretty serious shit. Now, if you want to know more about what Nattie has done, you should watch Lanza's video on the topic. He does a pretty good job covering the situation and all the times Nattie has gotten in trouble. Oddly enough, however, Epicrica, a person we've covered before, also made a decent video on Nattie. Granted, this is a mirror of it for some reason, but still. And hey, look at that! The video Nattie is responding to is to the one Lanza did. And her response is horrible.
This is horrible! You fucker! Fucker?
No, the irony of using Drake to represent Nattie isn't lost on me. Anyways, let's get into it.
For the past 5 years, I've been getting slandered.
Slander implies lying. Lanza didn't lie.
By various channels on YouTube, and this is despite me having been investigated over these allegations nearly a whole 5 years ago, and what is being alleged against me is criminal activity which I have been investigated for.
This is an excuse Nattie uses a lot. She claims she was investigated and the police didn't find anything, therefore she's innocent. Now, on a surface level, this seems understandable, until you realize this is the same excuse Carol the Wolf tried to use. If you're over the age of 10, you should know that just because the police say you're innocent doesn't mean you actually are. Sometimes the police confirming innocence can be helpful in a situation like this, but not when there's overwhelming proof otherwise. Despite what shows like Decaranger will tell you, the police aren't as computer literate as you think they are. Laws also take years to fully catch up. Very rarely will laws be put in effect immediately, hence why it took someone getting shot over Call of Duty to fully make swatting illegal. Point is, the police can be wrong sometimes. Oh, by the way, no hate to Dekaranger, it's genuinely a good Super Sentai season. Its adaptation SPD is pretty good too. Power Rangers is the only franchise that Disney bought and didn't ruin.
Making what is being said about me complete slander. This isn't the first time I'm responding to this. I responded to it once before, and another time quite recently, but essentially what happens when I respond is not too long later after I respond and it dies down, somebody makes another video on me.
I feel honored to keep such a well-kept tradition alive.
And pretends that it's all brand new, and even pretends that I've been ignoring it. And I've also seen claims that I wasn't even investigated.
Oh, that's terrible. Do you have any evidence of that? No? Okay.
And I've also seen claims that I wasn't even investigated, and the reason for that is because I'm trans. And I came out as trans in order to avoid the investigation.
I'm not even gonna be sarcastic with you here. No one told you this. Stop lying! And to those who think I'm being harsh, answer me this. Would you expect Nattie to give ClubDev the same sort of respect that she expects from us? Or would Nattie just run with the accusations like she did before? Go watch the video on Nattie from before, and you'll have your answer. Back with your answer? Now answer this. If Nattie won't give that respect to others, why should we give it to her?
Since this video was made on me, it's sitting at around 133,000 views, and my channel's been leaking subscribers every single day.
We all lose subscribers for one reason or another. And even then your numbers look fine according to this screenshot.
I can no longer make enough of this channel to live off of, and I've tried to apply for a job, but they searched my name and saw videos on me.
Wow, it's almost as if Jollibee isn't exactly keen on hiring people who send Roblox hentai to children.
So by responding to this, I can literally lose nothing. I've already lost everything.
Looks like we got a professional victim here.
But I've been advised to you by other creators, so that's what I'm doing. Lanza's video is full of complete lies, and Lanza doesn't just cover what actually went down, but goes as far as to call me a pedophile, a creep, and a predator directly in the thumbnail.
I mean, when you do what you did, it's only natural that people would come to that conclusion.
And also calls me Roblox's most elusive predator. Now why am I being called elusive? Well, because I'm not in jail. Apparently I'm just that elusive. I've been avoiding the police this entire time.
No, it's because despite you being exposed over and over and over again, you still keep coming back to YouTube.
I'm just so slippery, according to Lanza. The first thing I would like to clear up is the name changing, because I've been accused of changing names simply to get away from this, when clearly that hasn't worked, so I don't understand where the criticism comes from because it's not reflective of reality.
Just because it didn't work doesn't mean you still didn't try to accomplish that exact thing. If this logic were true, then every single predator sting would be invalid because the person on the end wasn't really a child.
I've been accused of switching from Nathrix to Scrimzox to Natixka, and finally to Nattie Forsyth, because I wanted to escape all these allegations when all I've been doing is responding to them on streams, and directly referencing all my other names constantly within videos and tweets.
Only your viewers are gonna watch those videos and streams, meaning people who already have a positive opinion of you. AKA, people who aren't gonna believe the allegations not based on facts, but based on preconceived biases they have for you. Same goes for your Twitter page, especially now that rate limits exist.
I even put these names in my tags of videos, which are visible to people with extensions like vidIQ.
Not everyone has those extensions. So naturally, not everyone will see those tags, therefore there will be people who don't know your previous usernames.
I started off as Nathrix and eventually lost that account because of a two-step verification issue, and then I switched to Scrimzox. This name was known quite widely as a clown persona because I had that as my profile picture, and it was also known mainly as a male character. Even though after I came out as trans, people just remembered Scrimzox as a guy, so I switched to Natixka, at which point I went to Augie RFC's stream and he called me the N-word trying to say my name, and a few other people struggled to say it, so I switched to just Nattie Forsyth.
Well, why not just change back to Scrimzox, but make your profile picture or persona a female version of your clown character? Popularity for Clussy is trending in recent years, thanks to the funny, poorly localized lawyer game. Hell, the makeup on your current persona clearly is meant to look Clussy-ish, so you're already capitalizing on that demographic. Why not just fully embrace it?
Nattie Forsyth. I just dropped having a username basically. But yeah, I'm really trying to avoid the allegations by changing my name, Lanza. I'm really trying to avoid it by changing it to my real name. But anyway, let's watch this furry's video on me.
I want to die. I want to die.
Oh, well, in that case.
You shake your
like work. You so evil. You check your now.
For YouTube 2S reasons, that's a joke. But in all seriousness, your Mimi cries for pity fall on deaf ears. You're not forgiven, and I'm not sorry. And using audio from a former Chad that turned into a cuck by the Twitter freaks surely won't make me feel better either.
Based in the UK with a very shady past, to put it bluntly. She's been caught doing multiple awful things within the Roblox community, and given that it's full of a bunch of children that don't understand the severity of what she's done, she's gotten away with it so far. That is, until now.
No, I've gotten away with it so far because I've been investigated by the police, you fat fucking fairy.
How mature of you, resorting to childish insults instead of addressing what you did? I've already explained why this argument doesn't work.
As we'll go through this person and their entire internet history and see what's up with them.
Yeah, it can't possibly because I've been investigated over this. It is quite simply because I had a Roblox audience and I'm not in prison right now. I mean, if that's true, holy shit, how easy is it to avoid prison? You just have a Roblox audience. Apparently, according to Lonza, that's all you need.
He never said that.
See what's in store together, because let me tell you, it's astounding the kind of stuff they've done has gone so under the radar. Now, before Nat was known under her current name, she was known as Nathrix.
You've already said this, you fucking idiot.
Hey now, don't skip ahead. Let Lanza speak.
Now, before Nat was known under her current name, she was known as Nathrix and for a while got relatively popular in the Roblox community in a short time. The content was pretty expected, mainly just Roblox related stuff, but sometimes there'd be a different style of vid.
There we go. Now, was that so hard? I have a feeling that I'm gonna be doing that a lot today. Let's continue, and hopefully we won't have to reverse what Nattie has been cutting out again.
This Juice WRLD one, for example. They would say in that vid that they couldn't turn off ads despite this being an outright lie.
Alright, so this is the first lie made by Lanza, is that I couldn't turn off advertising because I was in a YouTube network, and when you are in YouTube networks, you cannot turn off advertising in certain networks. And after I posted this, the only way I found out that you can actually get rid of advertising is if you purposefully try and get the video demonetized. And getting it demonetized actually limits the search results and reach of the video, but I didn't even know that you could do that until after I made this video. But even if I did know that, I probably still wouldn't have tried to get the Juice WRLD video demonetized because that means it would have been limited in search.
How about just not capitalizing on dead people at all? Not to mention in the screenshot Lanza shows there's the phrase, "All sponsored links from my description have been removed." This implies that there were sponsorships in the video at one point, so not only were you taking money from YouTube, you took money from whoever the fuck sponsored you.
Oh, you want to play a good game? Well, go to your buddy Wario. I know a good game. Raid Shadow Legend.
Also, what the fuck does Juice WRLD have to do with Roblox? Aren't you a Roblox YouTuber? Then again, you know who claims to be a toy channel, yet you know who has yet to follow through on that claim as he does nothing but drama. Either way, this could be avoided in so many other ways.
And I kind of wanted people to see the video because the video was saying to leave Juice WRLD alone.
Clearly you didn't heed your own words then.
I turned off all the ads, and the only ads I had was display ads which pay the minimum. I believe those are just the ads that appear next to the video outside of it, and they pay basically nothing. But that's all I could do, I couldn't turn off the advertising. And even though Lanza says this is a complete lie, if you zoom into the image that is in Lanza's video herself, monetization is set via upload policy. That doesn't say it if you're not on a network. If you can change this, it doesn't say monetization is set via upload policy.
I mean, YouTube networks are a scam anyways.
And this is a prime example of the type of person we're dealing with. One day though, the channel stopped uploading, and in its place the Scrimzox channel was born. The proof they're the same person is that the
I had a feeling that this would happen again. I will reiterate. Let Lanza speak.
The proof they're the same person is that the PO boxes are basically the same. Nat uploaded a video in which they directly let everyone know that they are Nathrix.
This isn't a secret.
Like constant.
Hey, I saw that jump cut. Don't try to hide shit again.
Why do I look and sound like Nathrix? Well, I'm gonna share with you some information right now that may upset or shock you. I'm Nathrix.
Like constantly posting NSFW Roblox images both on Discord and Twitter.
Okay, so in the left screenshot I posted a character that is made of Lego bricks, and I posted that to a server.
It doesn't matter if the character is made of Lego bricks, it's still NSFW and shouldn't be posted in a server full of minors.
As a matter of fact, this image was spoiled, and as you can see I put NSFW/nudity warning.
How about just not posting it at all?
It was posted because we were talking about what Sandra was posting on Twitter.
Okay, well you can discuss what she was posting and not post NSFW. Just say, hey, this person is posting Roblox hentai on their Twitter and not link it. Also, you haven't mentioned the screenshot of you retweeting Roblox hentai on your SFW Twitter account. I mean, why justify something that's unjustifiable, right?
Nat was known on Discord for being a creep, such as spamming W's and then sending a thankfully blacked out unsolicited picture.
I wish my dick was that big. Lanza, if you want to tell people my dick is that big, I mean, all the power to you.
So, we're not just gonna address the fact that you sent a picture of a penis to a server full of minors? We're just gonna make dick-sized jokes instead of addressing the adult showing a penis to minors? You're disgusting.
To someone. And they would make a thinly veiled.
But for real, I don't even understand where that screenshot come from. That's one of the screenshots that was thrown in when this all started, and there was a lot of other false screenshots as well, but this was one of the ones that was taken as probably real. I do not recognize those pants, and I don't have a white curtain anywhere in the house, if that's a curtain. I don't understand. I mean, just the sensor alone, it doesn't make any sense.
Nattie, it doesn't matter if it was yours or someone else's. You don't send nudes to minors.
W's and then sending a thankfully blacked out unsolicited picture to someone. And they would make a thinly veiled threat about how they could get sued for slander and whatnot. You know, just a pretty normal interaction.
Yeah, that's a pretty normal interaction from someone that is being slandered.
Slander implies lying. Lanza didn't lie. This argument didn't work for the immigrant. It won't work for you.
Try to figure out what this was, and while I couldn't find a specific reason to this example, I did find a tweet of someone referencing them sending a rather graphic image to a group of minors, and so I started digging some more. Lo and behold, I found a screen recording of when she sent a Discord server.
Alright, so this is something that I've admitted to. This is something that I've literally never denied. But there is a misconception regarding this, with my words being taken out of context when I responded to this originally. If you've ever heard that I ever used autism as an excuse for doing any of this, including these allegations, not just this goal, this is where it come from. This is where it originated from. Basically, what I said was, due to being autistic, I didn't really socialize that much with other people.
Oh, that's terrible. Can you tell us who these people are so we can report and out them for what they did? No? Oh, right, it's because they don't exist.
But that was taken and then spun into, I groomed minors because I am autistic. Man, that's not even close to what I said, but I'm kind of used to my words being taken out of context.
Yeah, I'm kinda used to it, bro. Cry me a fucking river. This reminds me of something Carmen once said.
Ah yes, self-deprecation. My favorite form of emotional manipulation.
This was luckily deleted after about 4 or 5 seconds by a moderator, and I don't believe many people saw it.
That doesn't matter, you shouldn't have done it anyways.
I've not posted Go publicly since this incident. This was the only time I ever posted Go. But anyway, moving on, because this still doesn't make me an elusive predator.
Is sending NSFW and NSFL content to minors not predatory?
Like how Lanza keeps using old footage of me where I've got facial hair though. That's pretty cool.
Imagine subtly trying to accuse someone of transphobia because they're exposing you for what you did to minors.
Now, Nat has been in 2 separate controversies with 2 different girls, that being Chloe and Sid.
Chloe was someone that was 2 years younger than me. I was 18 and she was 16. But apparently Chloe is one of my victims, even though I still actively talk to Chloe and she's denied that ever being a thing.
Now, normally I would defend you on this. I agree that 16 on 18 isn't pedophilia. However, it's your other actions that make this suspicious. If it was just Chloe, then I would agree that this is nothing more than an age gap, but given your past interactions with minors, it brings some concerning questions into, well, question. That's what Lanza was trying to say, and why Lanza brought up the Roblox hentai and other server stuff up first.
Despite all the other weird stuff they've been doing. Now, Cindy was also 16 when Nat was 19, and their situation went down in 2019.
Oh yeah, just to be clear, Cindy was turning 17 in exactly 1 week. And I had freshly turned 19, so it was again another 2-year age difference.
Okay, but what I said before still applies. If it was just the age gap thing, then I'd see no issue, but there's the age gap combined with your past behavior around minors.
This was investigated by the police. I was literally investigated for 8 months over this, but apparently this is in the video calling me an elusive predator, so it must be real. It must be worse than what it actually was. I don't know.
Between the 2 of them based off of this screenshot when they talked about it on Twitter.
So yeah, this person was mentally ill and basically kept me speaking to them by cutting themselves on video call in front of me and would threaten suicide if I stopped speaking to them. Because I didn't speak to them for 1 night, this person went to all these American influencers where the age of consent's 18 and we were both in the UK where it's 16.
Dear God, that's a lot to unpack. Firstly, this person being mentally handicapped isn't the gotcha you think it is. All that tells me is that you sought out a special needs teenager for sex thinking she wouldn't know what she's getting into or the repercussions it might have. Could that be a stretch? Maybe, but knowing how Nattie acts so carelessly around other minors with such shit excuses, what do you expect me to believe? Secondly, the age of consent in most states is also 16. Thirdly, this is the same excuse Cosmodor tried to use.
Oh, meine Lederhosen! Wisst ihr dummen Amerikaner nicht, dass das Schutzalter dort, wo ich lebe, bei 14 liegt? Ihr Amerikaner seid einfach rassistisch gegenüber meinen kulturellen Unterschieden. Ein Pädophiler zu sein, ist eindeutig ein zentraler Bestandteil des wahren deutschen Erbes. Wir hätten im Zweiten Weltkrieg härter mit euch Fettnäpfen umgehen sollen.
In fact, what is it with European influencers using their culture as an excuse to do shitty things to our American children? Cosmodor, Septipaws, and now Nattie? This feels like a pattern.
My heart is cold. My moves are bold. Never get old. I save the world.
I have my doubts that pedophilia is a part of European culture, but if it is, then fuck it. Let's go for a bombing run. Yeah, you heard me right. If your culture is rooted in hurting kids, your culture is wrong. If that makes me bigoted, then fuck it. I guess every sane person is a bigot now.
In a now deleted response video back when all this went down, Nat would straight up admit to sending an image to Cindy, which is none too surprising given how much we learned about this person so far.
I don't understand why do you have no problem with me and Chloe sexting, but when I do it with somebody also 2 years younger than me, it's a problem.
Again, it's the other stuff combined with the stuff with Chloe and Cindy.
But yeah, basically, this is where Lance is playing my old response video, so I'll just go back to responding to his actual video.
Nuh-uh, let's watch your bullshit excuses first. You don't get to hide from this.
So I did do a bit of research, and sexting under the age of 18, like sending images, is illegal. Now she's almost 17, I don't know if that makes any difference whatsoever. I myself am 19, my birthday's in June, and in the Dropbox provided by Little Stray, you can see my dick.
Huh, so you admitted it was illegal despite you earlier saying that what you did was perfectly legal before. You know, I loathe the idea of undoing your skips, but now that I see you're lying, I'm glad I went back and checked. But believe it or not, this isn't the only thing Nattie skipped.
Nat would go on to say that Cindy sent 2 images as well, explaining that he asked for one in particular.
So I sent that because she sent me 2 images of herself. One image of her wearing Nattie Forsyth merch whilst in underwear and fishnets, and I didn't specify for her to wear those, but I did ask for that picture.
So you received child porn from this girl? You received nudes from a 16-year-old? What the fuck is wrong with you? Go the fuck to jail. I'm glad you can't get a job and be around kids. You're fucking nasty! But believe me, there's more in this section that Nattie skipped, unfortunately.
The rest of the video paints Cindy as some annoying weirdo that just sends flirtatious messages out of nowhere, basically trying to set her up as the bad guy while also trying to downplay what they did because she was only 16, trying to convince the viewer they did nothing wrong. It's really hard to explain on its own, so let me just play out the clips for y'all.
She went through the chat and wiped all images because she was sending me a lot of stuff. It would be out of nowhere, she would just send a picture of her ass, none of it being nude. And after getting all this from her, I sent my dick because I felt like I should send something. This is where I asked for that image that I mentioned earlier.
So this girl was sexually harassing you and your first response was to send nudes back to her? Not once did you think to block her and tell her to fuck off? I find that hard to believe, especially since in this screenshot, it shows you asking the 16-year-old girl for the nudes. If you were asking for them, then she clearly wasn't sending them out of nowhere. And believe me, it gets worse.
Every video gets worse. Every video gets worse.
The video ends off with Nat saying that Cindy got her own issues going on, like constantly begging for attention either through annoyance or self-harm images, and eventually the two of them arguing after Cindy told everyone about their dynamic. Now what's strange is that on December 21st, 2021, this controversy would be brought to light once more and Nat would again respond to it, but this time the story sounds different than in the deleted video we just went over, painting Cindy as if she was just sending pics and stuff to them for no reason, when as we've seen, Nat admitted to asking for the picture in question.
Sticking to her. But essentially she would send me moaning audio just randomly.
Oh yeah, just moaning audio. Not like you asked for nudes or anything. By the way, obligatory Anyways, back to Nattie Forsyth.
Now it's worth pointing out that Cindy ended up saying to Nat they told everyone all this for attention and apologized, but still, at the same time, Nat was 19 asking for images from a 16-year-old.
No, they were 17. They were literally 17 next week, but apparently, if that's a huge difference, Lancer, apparently in a week, if they were meant to learn something, if they were meant to become so much more mature in a week, I mean, yeah, large predator, I guess. That's not what the definition of pedophilia is.
You still asked a 16-year-old for nudes. You received multiple nudes from them, which you coincidentally forgot to mention.
And given their past of creepy behavior like this, it doesn't help their case at all. And that's not mentioning again the police destroyed their hard drive in fear of what was on.
What do you mean in fear what was on it? They destroyed it because they saw what was on it. A clothed image from this girl.
Yeah, a clothed image of her ass. An image you asked for.
But it was somewhat suggestive, and it was removed after a few seconds, but it was still cached on the hard drive by Discord. They found this cached image, and because it was still possible for me to know how to recover that, I have no fucking clue how, but that's just protocol. They will destroy the hard drive.
Now I will give Nattie credit here. It is true that deleted images are not truly deleted until their data is overwritten. Mental Outlaw made a pretty good video explaining what this means if you're interested. However, this doesn't delete the fact that you received these images at all and asked for them, pun intended.
If that was incriminating, then why aren't I in jail? If they destroyed the hard drive because something was so bad on it, why am I not in jail? Lons is just insinuating here that because it was destroyed, because that's protocol, that's incriminating in some way. But as you can see, it literally shows there's insufficient evidence to prove there's a realistic prospect of conviction. And then there's the other one that says there is evidence, but there's not even enough evidence.
Insufficient evidence does not always mean innocent. It means what it says. It means there's insufficient evidence. This just goes back to what I said about the police being wrong sometimes.
To sum everything up so far, Nat is basically a degenerate person who has a history of sending images of themselves to people, both underage and as an adult, as well as the Discord sewing video and other stuff. To give a little bit.
Wait, you're saying that Chloe was underage, but you said previously that you had no problem with me and Chloe doing that because it was just a distasteful joke.
16 is still underage. The fact that I have to explain this to a grown-ass adult is fucking crazy.
Both underage and as an adult, as well as the Discord sewing video and other stuff. To give a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, the age of consent in the UK is 16, and both girls were 16 years old, so while the flirting is technically not illegal, it was definitely creepy, especially when you see
But you were calling me an elusive predator. What? Get to the illegal shit. We are 7 minutes into the video.
This is a pattern of behavior from Nat. The images are definitely illegal though, as anything under 18 is considered cheese pizza in the UK, and they were sending images to an underage person, so take that however you will.
I'll take it as it was two people at the same age, sexting.
You asked for him to talk about the illegal shit, so he did, and you try to justify the illegal shit. Remind me again why you aren't terminated.
Overall, everything so far is on the slightly tamer side of things. Just some awful judgment, awful explanations, and some lies to dig through. Basically, nothing exactly groundbreaking.
The lies about Cinny sending nudes unsolicited when in reality you asked for them, and later tried to claim that they were just moaning videos.
In January 2019, when Nat was 18 years old, they were in a Discord group chat one can only describe as a hellhole. A person named Craze was added to the chat, and within a small amount of time, Nat got a hold of her Snapchat account and started sending messages to her in what they describe as jokes.
Yeah, so what happened was, we were in a group chat that was overly edgy and degenerate for no reason. This was a result of me not socializing with many people and falling into these aforementioned degenerate circles where gore was desensitized and people were just overly edgy for no reason. So in this group chat, basically jokes about tragedies will be made, jokes about anything will be made. I think it was a way of coping with my depression, trying to cope with how fucked the world is.
I see you're pulling out all the YouTuber apology tropes, blaming it on autism, blaming it on depression, claiming it was a joke, just speedrunning cancellation.
Regardless, this person was added to the group, and the Snapchat wasn't gotten hold of by me. The Snapchat was given out immediately upon them joining, and I was told nothing about this person whatsoever. But because I wanted to make my friends laugh, I was copying exactly what they were doing.
And you didn't ask if this person was 18 first? How irresponsible of you.
And the next is an obvious innuendo.
And that was me trying to recreate this emoji with the devil emoji.
Nah, you were doing the cunnilingus hand sign. Stop lying, you're not slick.
This emoji with the devil emoji. The situation.
Hey, I saw that jump cut. You're still not slick. Let's rewind again.
And Nat would even send 2 audio clips to Craze as well.
Crazy, please just send me a picture. It'll take a second, please, thank you. Fuck me.
Wow, you have no riz whatsoever.
Since this happened, I don't trust anyone with anything, even a small amount of detail. I don't care what your reputation is.
Even if this girl was 18, you shouldn't be doing this to people in general.
I need proof of literally everything right now. Because there's one time I trusted someone with something so important. Yeah, what I feel like will happen is they purposefully added this person to the group chat, purposefully didn't give her age until after things were said, and then purposefully lowered it by another 2 years because originally they said she was 14 and then lowered it to 12.
How about just not sexually harassing people at all?
Easy to tell that Nat is interested in Craze and it's not a joke like they've been trying to say, but here's where things get interesting. Nat hasn't asked the age of Craze during all this. That means Nat cared so little about themselves and the person they were talking to, they didn't even think to ask if they were underage or not before sending all that stuff her way. In the Discord group chat, people start to guess the age of Craze, and Nat would guess 14, meaning that
So this was said simply because everyone else was guessing random ages. This girl said something sexual, and then because people were guessing what her age was is what I assumed was a setup to some kind of pedo joke. Because, you know, like I said, anything will be joked about in this group chat. I said, okay, I thought you were 14. And this screenshot has been used since I said that.
So you sent NSFW content to someone you assumed was 14? Remind me again how this makes you innocent.
so far. Nat says in this case it was a pic from Google, and then says they were basically joking when they guessed Craze was 14. I'm gonna call bullshit on this one because one.
Okay, so it's just what Lonzo believes happened. Got it?
So you're not even gonna listen to his explanation why?
A fake screenshot. I've already got over this one.
You really haven't.
Still though, the sensor. Why is it so fucking... It's potato shaped.
Imagine being so touch-starved you don't even know what a penis looks like.
I've just debunked the juice boat thing. Oh, me being a retard in an argument with Kaneko Kid, and there's apparently evidence I'm also an elusive predator. Got it?
I saw that, Skip. We shall rewind again.
I don't believe any of their excuses. That's not to mention again, they didn't even ask the age of Craze before doing all this, and given we've seen them do this degenerate stuff constantly, it's not even reckless anymore, it's downright predatory.
I agree, it is predatory.
So yeah, my original response to this was a video called I'm Sorry, which was simply a black screen and me talking for about nearly 8 minutes, where basically I just say what I've already been saying in this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip that.
And we're gonna go ahead and play it.
Drop another now deleted video titled I'm Sorry, in which they don't really say much at all and tries to make the viewer feel sorry for them saying they got doxxed when there's literally no proof of this at all.
But one thing I do know is that my address is not public.
No wonder you skipped this part. You lied about being doxxed. I wonder what else you lied about.
The whole video is literally just a black screen, and again, given Nat's a known liar and manipulator, I don't believe any of their claims without solid evidence, in which they provide literally none. They also mention freedom of speech and try to downplay asking a minor for pics as a joke, and trust me, we'll get back to that point in a bit.
People like Nattie are one of the reasons the left makes free speech a controversial topic. Remember that.
I also still kind of see the side of it was just a fucking joke. Like, freedom of speech, like, you can joke about so much.
A Roblox YouTuber named Epic Rika would cover this situation on their channel in a now deleted video, and so Nat would respond to that in another now deleted video as well. Nat says
So what happened with it, Epic Rika was the first person to ever cover these allegations on YouTube, and my response to it was completely misguided, and I didn't even fully understand why people were angry at first, so I kept saying it was just jokes. I thought people were angry that what was said in the first place as opposed to who it was being said to.
That makes absolutely no sense, but go off, I guess.
So these responses I made to Epic Rika are now gone, obviously. But if you want to go and watch my terrible response, the initial response, it's in Lance's video. But again, I'm just finding out at which point proves I'm an elusive predator.
Would you quit fucking skipping and just face the music already?
The reason for making this video, or at least the main reason, is to defend free speech.
Defending free speech by sending NSFW content to minors. You're the reason free speech is so controversial these days.
a lot of the video is Nat constantly trying to downplay what they did as just a joke, and then tell a story how they found out about Craze's age, funnily enough now saying they thought she was 16, and the excuses they say are honestly astounding to listen to.
It was all in a joking context, it was all satire, none of it was serious. The images again, it was just a more serious version of the messages, and I still had no idea of the age of the person at the time. The only time I found out the age actually was when I was in a group chat with a few people. Pink Cat was in the group, and I think it was Pink Cat that said, guys, so guess our age. And everyone was saying 12, 13, 15, 11, but the one number people didn't say was 14, so I said 14. And the reason for that was because, obviously the second he says, okay guys, guess her age, I was pretty much like, oh shit, maybe she isn't over 16 because 16 is the age of consent, by the way, in the UK.
So you sent NSFW content to a 16-year-old? That's not better.
They then say exactly what they've been doing and try to deflect it, that being they say and do nasty things and then say it's all a joke to avoid accountability, and say they regret nothing.
But at the end of the day, they were jokes, and That's all there is to say, really. And for the people saying, oh, you're just saying that because then you can say weird shit to minors and get away with it by saying it's a joke.
Because that's exactly what you're doing. I know this because this is the exact thing the creator of Sonic Eclipse Online said when confronted.
It was pretty common knowledge that these jokes were being made in my community. Maybe not to the extent it actually occurred, but definitely known. So far as to the point where I was known as the old man with kids in his basement.
The fact she just placed the blame on a minor saying they shouldn't have trusted her is fucking insane.
It's more than insane, it's downright repulsive.
Person is an actual line manipulative loser. The rest of the video is reacting to Epic Rika's one, but we don't need to go any further because we already know Nat is a degenerate scumbag. In that video where Nat talked about Cindy again,
I mean, you are a literal furry.
Imagine using the "at least I'm not a furry" insult when you literally have shown NSFW and NSFL content to minors. Truly delusional behavior.
Nat has recently had to respond to her shady past being brought to light once more after YouTuber Achito brought them up after it was discovered YouTuber Jalen is friends with Nat. While the video is nuts.
Yeah, they tried to go after Jalen because she's friends with me.
Oh, trust me, there's way more reason to go after Jalen that barely has anything to do with you.
So, they tried to have her completely cut ties with me, even though she's like the one person I speak to in this community. But essentially, we got into a tiny argument and we were both saying what we believe would hurt the other person the most. So Jalen brought up my allegations and I brought up her facing transphobia.
So she exposed your creepy behavior and your response was to be transphobic? Don't get me wrong, Jalen cries like a bitch, but that's too far. Now we've reached the end of the video, but there's more to cover here. So earlier I said to wait till the end to find out why the ClubDev video is still down. Well, Nattie found out about the video Carmen made and left a comment. Let's read what she had to say. There's a reason why I kept using the word allegedly. That word means something. Now, I don't have to point out the irony of this statement, but it's worth noting by now Carmen knew about Nattie's misdeeds as she did not prior and responded as such.
Okay, Groomer Nathrix.
Smug and straight to the point as you can see. Nattie, however, did not take this well. I was innocent until proven guilty, and I'm still innocent after being proven innocent. Call me whatever you want, you can't upset me as much as you people already have. And you can't be making a video like this angry at me for covering unconfirmed allegations when I myself was saying allegations. But you refused to do the same for me, despite it having been investigated and refuted. And no, just in case you're thinking me being trans has nothing to do with anything, so don't even reply next with me having transitioned to avoid everything or whatever. Coming out only made the allegations much worse and even got me attacked IRL. I don't care about your lies anymore. Do whatever you want. Tell me you're salty without telling me you're salty. So obviously Carmen responded to Nattie.
It's not lies if there's literally proof on what you did. And unless you have proof that you got attacked IRL, chances are you're lying. Even if you were innocent, shouldn't that be a sign that you shouldn't do the exact same thing as everyone did to you? You're delusional.
Nattie didn't respond. Now this was prior to them privating everything, so Carmen couldn't mention that at the time. But anyways, gamers, have a good night.